Hey YouTube, I have some free time, so I thought I'd make a video. It's my birthday! Happy birthday me! I'm not doing anything for my birthday anyway. I have 3 classes today, my girlfriend's busy, I have no idea what my friends are doing, just busy all around. No time. But, thought I'd give a life update. In my previous video, I talked about this woman who I kind of described as Game Over 2D from Banjo-Kazooie. Today I got my picture retaken for school, so it's going to be on every school thing, so on the roster for whatever classes I have from here on out. Thought that was my roommate. It's not. So now it kind of looks male-ish. Not really. But whatever. And at least it's going to say Zayne. So that's good. And it might take a few weeks because they have to have a certain amount of cards to change so they can do it all in one go. That's pretty much the update. Just got my picture retaken. I can change my name on it. And it's my birthday. Oh yeah, I forgot something important, didn't I? Alright, it's hot in here. In my previous video I talked about how I was going to come out to my dad. And I did come out to my dad, and let me explain my method. Okay, I picked 5 videos out as a playlist for my father to see. One was the first video I made, the second one was the last video I made, and then 2 of them were from this YouTube channel called FTM Transtastic, which was Your Child is Trans, Now What? And that video talked about how you shouldn't freak out, because just like when our parents were younger, they probably had to discuss something with their parents, and they were worried that their parents would be disappointed in them or disgusted with them, not because of what they were doing was wrong, but because it was not what their parents had envisioned with them. 4th video talks about some terms, and it talks about how far some people would go in terms of surgery, or if they already feel like they are in the body, you know, like if I was just going around in my female body and still felt I had a male body, I wouldn't bother getting surgery with it because I felt comfortable, which I don't particularly. So, and I also gave a list of questions that should have been very useful for my family to use, and they didn't. Let's take notes on these sort of things. And the last video was Chasey Boo's video. It was also from FTM Transtastic, but it was from his video, and it was just talking to parents about what trans is and how he came out as trans and how he felt in his body. It's kind of similar to how I felt. I put it on a USB, wrote a note, said, open the file. Came out with an opening saying, I want to tell you something, but you're busy, and also I don't know how to tell you this. Then I had instructions, which was, I want you to watch this alone with headphones on while I'm out with Shannon today. When you fully process the information, then, only then, will we discuss this matter. Okay, he did that. But he didn't follow one of my instructions, which was to watch it alone. He allowed my stepmom to watch it with him, which is kind of annoying because he said, oh, it's something you should talk about with her. It's not my place, even though he kind of just contradicted himself earlier by allowing her to see the videos. Which, at this point, it's whatever. But I wanted to tell him. Only him. We discussed the matter when they got home from church or something. I don't know where they were. And he didn't start off too well. He asked one question that was good and one question only, which was how far I wanted to go with my transition. And I answered the question, and that was the only good question he had, even though I gave him a video that had a whole bunch of questions that he could have restated. And then we started talking about things that had nothing to do with trans or myself, and then there was just a lot of yelling and crying from me, not from him. I'm trans, talk to me about being trans, about how I feel about it. how I knew I felt about it, what I'm going to do with it, what I want you to do with it as my parent, what I expect from you, and what do I expect from this experience, what do I expect to happen after I transition, what do I expect to happen during my transition, how do I expect to go through this process. He could have asked me, do you want me to help you in any way? Do you want me to help you learn how to change your knee? Do you want me to send you to straight camp? Like, any of those would be some form of help, even if the last one would be negative. None of that happened. And then after some time, he broke down and cried in my arms about 3 times, saying how I should make sure of this, and because I don't want to regret it, because some things I can't go back on. Oops. And then we broke away from that, and then he started thinking about how when I was his little girl, he started crying some more because he knows I'm not going to be his little girl anymore. And he cried in my arms some more, and then he cried in my arms again because he was saying I should have saw this coming, because when you were 4, people would mistake you for a cute little boy, and I would say you're a girl to them, and then you would say to me, no, I want to be a boy. He's like, I should have dressed you up more. Him dressing me up more would have been his mother trying to make him hang out with boys all the time to make him gay. It wouldn't have changed anything. Just like how he used to hang out with gay friends and he never became gay or had the slightest idea of being gay. Same thing would have happened to me. You know, I could have been to pageants and hung out with all these girly girls and wore all these dresses, but if anything, I probably would have resented him more for making me do those things. And I probably would have been even more confused with myself, and I probably would have gone through a mega state of depression where I would have tried to kill myself. But that didn't happen because he didn't force me to do something I didn't want to do. And Dad, I thank you for that, because I could have been dead by now in a state of depression. I already went through a state of depression of trying to dress myself up, and that didn't work either, where I tried to dress myself up. I really tried to be a girl. I really, really tried really hard to dress up and find some sort of clothing style that I liked that was feminine. I didn't like it. I spent over $1,000 on Hot Topic clothes trying to do it, and I didn't like the way I felt. I felt like I was masquerading around, like I was performing for everybody to be something I wasn't. Now I feel so much more comfortable with who I am, and I don't second guess myself as much, though I still have to hide the fact that I am a woman, which is not, that's only difficult because of my body shape, not difficult because of me. Because I feel perfectly comfortable around my friends who do know I'm trans and who expect me to be a guy, which makes me a lot happier. Since there was so much crying going on, I waited hours before I talked to my stepmom, because then I had to come out to another parent. And even after all this, I still have 2 more parents, or 1.5 parents to come out to. Yay. Now I talked to my stepmom. It went a lot better, oddly enough. The one who I was kind of worried about kind of the most actually did not make me feel like what I was doing was wrong, kind of. First, I just gave her a talk saying, listen, whatever you say is not going to change my mind about this, because the fact that I'm already telling both of you about this predicament I am in has already proved enough that I am very, 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 very 100,000 bajillion gazillion % sure about this, or else I wouldn't risk anything in our relationship for nothing. So I'm very sure I've been thinking about this for quite some time. Just wanted them to know that no matter what they said, it wasn't going to change anything, because obviously I was sure about it, or else I wouldn't bother telling them. It wouldn't cross my mind to tell them. I feel like I was just going to change my mind later on. Right now I'm pretty sure I know what I want, and I know what I am, and I know that's man. Even if my father right now is probably going through old photo albums of how I was his little girl, even though in all those photos I look like a little boy. But I mean, Dad, what would you rather have? Me enlist in the army and then I just die completely, and then you don't get to see any part of who your daughter was at all? Or would you rather have me just change genders and we still have the same humor and we still have the same personality, just in a different form? At least I'm still alive, at least I still have the use of my legs, at least I still can complete sentences, at least I'm still conscious. What would you rather have? Pretty sure you'd rather have me be healthy and alive, even if it means being in a gender that you didn't ever expect. Because even if I went to the army and became paralyzed, you wouldn't have expected it either. But what would you rather have done? At least I'll be here by your side, fully intact, the use of all my limbs and the use of my brain function. I hope you'd rather have this than any of those. There's a way to come out. If anybody's interested, just leave your parents some videos, and then be out with your friend all day, and then come back, and then you guys can discuss it. Instead of being like, Mom, Dad, I need to tell you something, I'm transgender. Since my father pretty much has access to my YouTube channel now, if he favorited it to something of his, which I'm sure he probably did, he's probably going to hear a lot of the things and watch a lot of the things that I say on this. But he needs to understand that just because he's watching doesn't mean I'm going to censor myself. So, you get upset by whatever I say, it's not my fault you get upset. You need to realize that this is pretty much an online diary, and you should be lucky you have access to it, and that whatever I say is my interpretation of a situation, and you can't tell me how to interpret a certain situation. It's like you can't tell me how to interpret a poem. So, if I say something on here, or if you see a subject at the title of my video that you don't like, don't watch it, okay? And if you do watch it and you don't like it, oh well. It's my diary. It's my journal. You can't tell me how to feel about it. So you should be happy that you have access to it, because most parents don't. That's all I have to say about that. Ending transmission.